It's official, Meghan Markle is out, and not in the usual tabloid drama kind of way. According to fresh reporting from US Weekly, Prince William and Princess Catherine have effectively cut Meghan out of their lives. A good no calls, no text, no polite Christmas card exchange, just silence. And it's not just gossip anymore. This feels permanent. Sources close to the royals say Prince William is furious, but not in a shout and throw things around kind of way. His anger runs cold as strategic final, and it's not just about Meghan alone. It's also about Harry's decision to air out royal family issues in public yet again, this time during a controversial BBC interview on May 2nd that was apparently the last straw. Insiders say William and Catherine decided then, and there's no more drama, no more back and forth. Meghan's name isn't even allowed to be mentioned in front of Kate anymore. Literally, palace staff are under strict instructions to avoid bringing her up altogether. This goes deeper than just one interview. Though it's been a slow burn, a build-up of hurt, betrayal, and emotional exhaustion, Harry's public statements, Meghan's alleged diva behavior, the tell all interviews, the explosive documentaries, all of it seems to have culminated into a full-blown shutdown from the senior royals. And at the heart of this latest decision is something surprisingly human: stress. Catherine's been recovering from serious health issues, and William is laser-focused on protecting her peace. That means no Meghan, period. Apparently, even if there's a reconciliation with Harry down the line, which is still big, if there's zero chance Meghan will be welcomed back. One source flat out said Kate will never see Meghan again, not out of pettiness, but for her own mental well-being. And honestly, that says a lot about where things stand. But here's where it gets even more intense. This isn't just about avoidance. Behind the scenes, William's been putting real pressure on King Charles, reportedly making it clear that he's had enough. The vibe isn't just we're ignoring her, it's more like she's done. There's a sense that William sees himself as a protector of the monarchy now, especially with his father's health reportedly fragile. With that role comes tough calls, and this one's apparently non-negotiable. Angela Leving, who literally wrote the biography on Prince Harry, weighed in on this whole situation, saying the strategy is to not engage at all. No reactions, no public counterattacks, just dignified silence. According to her, that silence is more frustrating to Meghan than any public condemnation would be. It stars a drama of oxygen, and that royal insiders say is the whole point. It's almost poetic. Meghan, who famously cut off her own father and others from her life, is now facing the same treatment from the most powerful family in Britain. No phone calls, no acknowledgements, not even a mention of her name in palace corridors, just cut off. And it's not just William and Kate drawing the line. Other members of the royal household are reportedly following suit. The general mood is enough. People are tired. The constant back and forth, the PR games, the backhanded interviews, it's all become too much. So what about Harry? That's where things get complicated. While William and Catherine have slammed the door on Meghan, there's still a sliver of openness toward Harry, his family, kind of leniency, but even that comes with conditions. The biggest one: stop airing dirty laundry in public. According to reports, the royal family doesn't even see a path forward until Harry zips it. So yeah, Meghan's not just in hot water, she's effectively iced out, lifetime ban level. And the way it's being done, quietly, firmly, without spectacle, is probably the harshest part of all. Prince William's reaction to all of this hasn't just been emotional, it's been calculated. People close to him say he's not interested in petty revenge or media games. What he wants is to shield the crown from becoming a soap opera, and in his eyes, Meghan Markle represents everything that threatens that stability: her unpredictable behavior, constant headlines, and the way she's used media as a weapon. None of it fits the royal mold. William's response: total disengagement, no more second chances. What pushed him over the edge apparently was hearing that Meghan's name was still being thrown around internally. Even that was too much, though a firm decision was made. From now on, she doesn't exist in their world. Kate, who's already been under immense stress due to her health battles, didn't just agree. She insisted the emotional toll Meghan's involvement has had on her is something the public rarely sees, but insiders say it's very real. And it's not just emotional. There are reputational scars too. Remember that moment after the Oprah interview when William snapped at a reporter when he broke protocol and responded directly to a shouted question: is the royal family racist? With a sharp, "We are very much not a racist family." That wasn't just a soundbite, it was a rare glimpse into the bottled-up frustration William had been holding in for months. A prince who's usually polished and reserved, letting the mask slip even if just for a second. That outburst was by all accounts a mistake. The palace didn't want any public rebuttals, and William himself probably regretted giving Harry and Meghan even that much satisfaction. It was proof that their strategy of controlled silence could be broken, and that made him vulnerable since then is doubled down on restraint, no more public reactions, no more accidental acknowledgments, nothing. And that nothing is precisely what's driving Meghan insane according to multiple. There's irony in the way this is all playing out. Meghan, who famously distanced herself from people she found toxic, including her own father, is now being given the same treatment by the royals as like the royal family took a page out of her own book. Total cutoff, no emotional closure, no resolution, just distance and finality. Even outside the palace bridges are burning. Edward, a ninful, the former Vogue UK editor who once bent over backwards to please Meghan during her guest edit of the magazine, is no longer on speaking terms with her. That partnership, once hyped as a cultural moment, ended in disaster. Staff at Vogue reportedly had to tiptoe around her demands, with Meghan allegedly behaving like a full-blown diva behind the scenes at the time. An infill tolerated it to maintain the connection, but eventually even he had enough. What's even more telling is that Meghan's treatment of Anil mirrors a larger pattern. She builds up relationships quickly, often built on flattery or shared interest, mentee and matching political views, for example. But when those relationships don't bend entirely to her, where they collapse, this has happened again and again, from former staff to celebrity allies to media figures. There's a growing trail of people who no longer want to be associated with her, and this isn't lost on the palace. The royals aren't Meghan's isolation isn't just emotional or social anymore. It's turning into something far more visible. Sources say even within Hollywood circles, a glow has started to fade. What once made her an aspirational figure marrying into royalty, breaking barriers, controlling her own narrative, is now working against the people. Are wary the charm offensive doesn't land like it used to, and former supporters have either gone quiet or drifted away entirely. Prince Harry, meanwhile, continues to walk a tightrope despite the royal family's frustration with him. There's still a lingering sense of hope that he might find his way back on his own terms, but those terms now come with strict expectations. No more unauthorized interviews, no more passive-aggressive Netflix deals, and absolutely no more dragging the monarchy through the mud. It's a long shot, but one that some insiders believe could happen if Meghan is no longer in the picture. What complicates matters is how deeply Harry has entangled himself with Meghan's version of their story, from the Oprah interview to their docu-series to his memoir. His Gone Allen pulling back now would feel like a betrayal, not just of her, but of everything they positioned themselves as. That's a trap. The more he defends her, the harder it becomes to step away. And while Harry insists his motivations are rooted in protecting his family, many within the palace view it differently. They see a man who once understood duty now weaponizing his title to launch media attacks, often riddled with half-truths and private grievances. Even when financial support quietly came from King Charles, millions reportedly, to help them transition out of royal life, Harry painted a narrative of abandonment. That contradiction has frustrated many behind the scenes. As for Meghan, her frustration seems to be turning inward. Palace sources say she's growing increasingly paranoid about her public image. Once confident in her ability to control the media cycle, she's now reportedly stunned by the cold shoulder she's receiving, not just from the royals, but from British institutions. She once sought to charm the Daily Mail, the Sun, even Vogue. Outlets that previously gave her glowing coverage are now reporting on her with brutal honesty, and that shift has been jarring. The irony is hard to miss. Meghan built a brand around female empowerment, inclusion, and transparency, yet her critics argue that behind the scenes she's displayed the very behavior she claims to fight against: manipulation, elitism, emotional coercion. Staff have described volatile mood swings. Collaborators have walked away, and now even her closest allies are being quiet. Take Edward Enel, once her biggest backer in the British media world. Their fallout wasn't publicized, and to boys it didn't need to be. The silence was loud enough, according to one Vogue insider. It was a long time coming. Enful had grown tired of the constant image management and behind-the-scenes tantrums. It wasn't just about one bad day, it was a pattern. And for someone as connected as an Enfield, distancing himself spoke volumes. There's also been a shift in public sentiment, where Meghan and Harry once stood as sympathetic figures battling an outdated system. Many now see them as opportunists who burned every bridge they crossed. That narrative shift matters, especially in media and politics. Their value isn't what it once was, and doors that once swung open are now cautiously ajar or closed completely. The royal family isn't celebrating that fall from grace. This isn't a victory lap. If anything, there's sadness beneath the surface, sadness that a once beloved prince and his wife have ended up in this place, estranged, embattled, and increasingly isolated. But the crown has endured worse, and it always survives by following one rule: never let personal chaos overshadow the institution.